Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today is the day I install the third row of tin, and this row is by far the hardest. So, on this row, we have an obstacle on each of the panels, 3 obstacles in all. On the panel on this side, we have the garage door bracket right there. The center one has this garage door bracket, and on this side, we have a hole going through the panel, and I have to get that big heavy wire through that hole, and then there's gonna be conduit and stuff, but I really don't have to do that right now. So this is gonna be a very involved day. If all that happens is I get all 3 panels up, I'll be happy with that. But if I can get the insulation in there as well, I'll be ahead of the game. I have all of my dimensions. Where is that? Oh, right here. The first dimension, it was 5 inches. I measured up there, and we have an edge just like this. And what I did was measure that, and it was 5 inches out to where my plumb bob hit. If you want to see how I did that, you can watch yesterday's video, but all I did was drop a plumb bob down to where the conduit's going to go into the box there, and then I measured over and got that 5 inches. The measurement out from the wall went to the plumb bob as well, but I added 3/4 of an inch to it because we're going to have 3/4 of an inch plywood behind the box. So what I did was put this represents the next panel, this edge right here, and this represents what's up there. I put this under here and then measured from that edge 5 inches over, and where is my mark? Right here. That is how far in I have to go, and then my dimension outward, I have 2 11/16, so it'll be right about here. I have to drill a 2-inch hole there, and that's going to be really difficult as well. Well, this is the 2-inch. I'll get the arbor on there, but I'm going to have to go extremely slow because it's not easy to cut metal with these, and I don't want to mess up a panel. These are really expensive, so wish me luck on this. Okay, so that dimension from this edge is 7 1/8. I'll get a straight line between those, but the other one is 2 11/16, which is right there. And I can just do this by eye. All right, I need a 2-inch hole right there. All right, I'm gonna center punch that when I get it on the floor. What I'm gonna do is lay it on these 2x4s, and I'm gonna drill my hole right through into this 2x4 here. There's no way I'm gonna try drilling this up on the horses here. It's just gonna make a huge mess. So let me get this stuff cleared off of here, get the panel on the floor, and get going with that hole. All right, got the hole done. That hole saw was insanely dull. Before I do the next one, I'm either going to have to get a new hole saw or just do it with the jigsaw. I finished that up with the jigsaw and then filed this nice and smooth, so it's good to go. I also cut that insulation at the top of the wall here and here. Both of those are at 6 1/4. All I got to do now is throw this on the lift and lift it up. All right, the first panel is in place. On the second panel, I went up there to check out the hardware and try to get it marked so that I can get it back in the same spot. Let me show you that closer. I have a little mark right there, and that is a square line down to the edge right here. Yeah, once I got this panel up, I really can't measure to anything. That joist will be covered. Anything that I could measure to is going to be too far away, so I think that'll do it though. And I had to take the bracket itself off, but that goes right in this hole here, and that's the angle that it was at. So hopefully, once I get the panel up here, I could put this hardware right back into the holes that it was in, and everything will work just fine. All right. No cutting on this panel at all, so I'll just throw a panel on the lift and get it up there. All right, there was a problem with the screws on this panel. When they went through the first layer of tin, they were catching the second layer and kind of shifting the panel around. So I pulled most of the screws out. Actually, one or two of the screws broke. So I got to repair this. What I'm going to do is try to get the last of the screws out. I'm going to clamp the end. I probably should have had that clamp to start with. And I'm going to go through on the rest of the holes and take the drill and make sure that I have a nice straight hole going through there instead of a crooked hole, which is what happened. And it's actually 2 days later right now. I went to the Amish and got these 1.5-inch screws. I've been using inch-long screws, so wherever the hole's messed up, this should fix the hole. I just got to take the little rubber washer off of these and they should do the trick. So first thing to do is get this fixed, and then I can do the rest of the stuff, the wire, and get the hardware back on. All right, I got this panel fixed, but right here, we're going through the joist hanger up there, and it broke 2 of the screws, so I have 2 holes there. I'm going to caulk that up later, but otherwise, it went up there pretty good. Not quite as good as the rest of them, but hopefully that's not going to continue on to the next panels. I'll have to be very careful with that as I move forward. All right, now for this. There may be a few issues with these as well because they used the existing holes on the track and the truss was a little bit off, so they kind of cocked it. I traced the angle onto the bracket, but hopefully I don't have problems screwing that up into the truss. We're going to find out in a second. All right, 1 bracket down, 1 to go. This went really smooth. I have my little hash mark over there, so I just went down with my combination square to the edge here to get the position of the track in the right place. Then I had my little mark on the track here for the angle of the bracket, and I took a dimension the other day, which was 9¼ inches, and that was from the center of this to the center of the truss. I just marked the hole locations, marked my 9¼ inches. I drilled a large enough hole for the screw to pass completely through it without touching it. And once that was done, I drilled a pilot hole up in there, maybe an inch or so, and bolted it in place. Good, good, good. Really nice and tight. Now, hopefully that next one goes the same. Once that's done, we'll move on to that wire. All right, moving right along. We have the garage door hardware completely reinstalled. I haven't tried to open the door yet, but I don't think there's going to be any problem with that. Well, let's just do it. Here we go. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I didn't think there was going to be a problem. All right. And I don't foresee any problem stuffing this wire back in there. It is kind of stiff, but it should go right through there. Once we're done with that, I got to go along and tape up there and add the fiberglass. I'm not exactly sure what's going to be going on with the fiberglass, so when I figure that out, well, I'll come back after I get this wire stuffed through there, and we'll take a look at what it looks like up there. All right, all done. At first, I was shoving that through kind of blindly, and I got it about halfway through and then noticed that the water line was on the back side of it. This actually has to go on the back side of the water line, so I pulled it back through and got it in there correctly. Now, in a little bit, I'll just pull this kind of straight and then peel the jacket off this lower part, slide a conduit up and through the hole, and I can lift it up and set it right through the knockout on the top of the box and get it connected. But none of that stuff's gonna happen right now. For now, I just need to stuff the top part with insulation. Let me show you what that looks like up there. This area was not completed. I have to add the R30 and the R19 over the top of this stuff, as well as fill the hole where the wire comes through. So once I get that all done, this will just be sticking out of the insulation there, and when I blow in the insulation, this will all be buried. Let me get all that stuff done, and then we'll turn our attention to taping and insulating this stuff right here. All right, I'm gonna have to wrap this video up. It's been going on way too long. I'll show you what I got done. I got that R30 and the topper in place over there, and I insulated out to here. On this row here, we have tape going in back here. Then this one is not quite 24 inches. I believe it's 19½. So I got to cut it the long way. It takes a while. And then this is a full one right here. So I got to do that all the way across. That's going to take a while. So I'll just get that done. And in the next video, I'm going to be moving this light, putting up another row, and then attaching this light without putting any holes in the tin ceiling. That should be a real interesting video, and it's kind of a test for how I'm going to do the lights in the final shop. I don't want to drill any holes in the tin ceiling to hang lights, So I'm going to do the same thing on all of the lights once I get to that point. So it should be a real interesting video, and if you want to see it, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.